Every time I talk about my stroke experience, I think I have to say something to help people understand that I am a two-time stroke survivor. And I look at the world a lot differently now than I used to because the doctors told me I have to be careful not to get in any stressful situations. But at the same time, I'm very appreciative and very thankful for living through the stroke. But to tell you how strokes are really, really deadly, I want to share this with you. In my recovery period, when I returned home from the hospital, I had a good friend of mine, a longtime friend. We grew up in the same neighborhood together, but he lived in a different part of California, and he came by to visit. Well, you know, he stopped at my house, and we had a good conversation. We talked, sat down, we had a good conversation, and everything was fine between us. Not too long after our conversation, he suffered his own stroke. And where I suffered it twice, he had that one stroke. And I heard about it, and mind you, I was still in the state while I'm in recovery. I just didn't know what to say, how to act, because I felt bad for him. Because going through my experiences there, it was not good to hear that he went through it. He's a good guy. So we would take walks. I would take at different times that he would, but I would see him around the neighborhood. But I can tell in one of our last conversations, when I was seeing him in the neighborhood, that the strokes, that one stroke he suffered really got to him. And he was really struggling to speak with me. And then the very last time I saw him, he was in the van. I would assume headed to the hospital. But it was one of those vans my father used to uh, get in, those community type vans where you call and they would take you to your place of destination. And that's what my friend was headed to. I'm assuming he went to the hospital. I got news that after that day that he passed. He died. The stroke was a factor in that. So I'm just wondering, I've had two. He had one, he passed. How could I still be here? And he passed with only was one stroke. All I can just tell you is that if you've never believed in God, and this generation doesn't, but if you never believed in God, I hope that this is proof that you should, right? So, my friend had a great online memorial service by friends that really cared about him and loved him, and I saw it and added my few words about him. But I just want, we grew up together, and he was someone that introduced me to coach with the YMCA, our local YMCA, which is right down the street. We coached flag football together. We coached basketball together. I think I was the better coach, but actually he was a good guy. We participated in YMCA events together as counselors, co-counselors, you name it. So we did. Some people across the street. So we were close that way. We did things for the youth, since we were young guys ourselves, right? But eventually, like all friendships, sometimes long time friendships, there's a there's a moment where you stayed close together, but also you break apart. And he moved to another city. I stayed here in L.A. Or I went to the Bay and he stayed here in L.A. Um, but we kept in touch all that time. We kept in touch. You know, we knew most of the people in the same church, and so we stayed in touch that way. It's been 2 years since he's passed, and it's around the same time that I would say this is around the same time he passed. Not the same month, but the same time, same season. And all I can just say is that being a stroke survivor and seeing someone close to you that you grew up with, that you had a lot of experience, who played basketball in my backyard, someone close to me passing away like that, it makes you think about how fragile life is. It makes you wonder about all the different things that we're going through in this society. Does it really mean anything at the end? Does it even matter? What matters is what you do with the people around you. What matters is that the family that you have, the people that love you, the people that care for you, the people who are in your corner. That's what matters the most. Anything outside of that, man, shouldn't even matter. Shouldn't even count. Because what are people on the outside going to do, right? Do people on the outside even care if you live or die? My friend was one of the good guys. Yeah, my father, my father was alive, had trouble with him, but he was still a good guy. He was a good guy. And all I can just say is that I've had friends, young men that I knew who I grew up with, passing on, and it makes me feel as if I'm here for a reason, right? I've written 2 books, I have one more on the way. But is it just writing books, or is it something more? I tend to believe there's something more. I don't know what it is yet, but I think I will find out. But as a stroke survivor, and if any of you are stroke survivors, take each day, man, and just enjoy it. And with everyone's the outside, the news, political news, or sports news, or social news, whatever it is, forget all that. That doesn't matter. What matters is you live your life. Live it the way you want to live it. Enjoy it with family and friends who love you. And people on the outside who can care less about you, you should not matter about them at all. Because really, when it comes down to it, you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. My friend lived a rich life. He lived a good life. And in that memorial that I saw, there were people who loved him. They really loved him. I don't know how or what will happen when I'm gone. I would hope that if people love me, they'll come out and say that, but I don't know. All I can just do is just continue to be an influence in someone's life. I'm very grateful for the students who've graduated, moved on, the students who are still in school that I grew up well, I'm not, that I know who have grown up in front of my eyes and are doing well. They're becoming great students now and in other pursuits. But all I want to say, man, as I close, is that life is too short to deal with all this mess. Much, much too short. And if you know someone who has had a stroke, or if you suffer one yourself, take it easy. Don't rush into anything. The key that I was able to survive, live through it, and now regain most of what I've lost is that I took my time, got lots of rest, and just not engaged in any stressful conversations or situations. And that's what you have to do too. So that you don't wind up like my friend and find it, just live your life the best you can. I want to thank you all for your support. My website is in the banner above, along with other sites you can check me out. I am on the socials. I am on the talk. I am on other sites as well. If you want to check me out and join me in my adventures there. But I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this. Really is important. And thank you for your well wishes and your comments about my strokes, surviving them. Like I said, I still don't know why I'm here, but there's a plan, and I'm looking forward to that plan, seeing it carrying out. So, until we see each other again, you have a great day, evening, week. And always in closing, take care.